Welcome back, everyone. I'm here to talk about this show called Stranger Things, which is about this mom whose son goes missing for some odd reason, and she is trying to find her son. And while that's going on, there's also the son. His three friends are also trying to find out what happened to him, and they also meet this mysterious girl who is kind of different and odd, and they're trying to find him. Now, I know that was pretty vague, but I don't really want to spoil anything that happens in this show because it is great. I really love the show. I know I'm probably late on this show, which, I mean, they only released one season because it's a Netflix original. And what Netflix shows do is they release the entire season in like a day, and then next year they'll release another season if the show does really well. Like they've been doing it with House of Cards, those Marvel shows, and so on. What I really like about this show is how intriguing it is because when I was watching the first episode, I decided to give it a shot because I heard it was really good, but I don't really like to get into shows that like you have to watch it in an order, you have to get into it in order to like it. Luckily though, well, there's only 8 episodes in season 1 of the show, but what's really good is it doesn't feel like it's too short because each episode is an hour long. And you may think that's a bad thing to have that long of an episode, but what's great is every minute you're watching the show, you're hooked into it. At least that was for me, because they don't have anything in there just to be filler. Everything about the show was really good. All the characters, like there was no character that was just in it just to be in it. They all play a role. They all have something to add to the show. Like the mom, who was played by Winona Ryder, she was really great. I mean, you feel for her who when she's trying to find her son. You want her to succeed, and also the chief officer who also is like at the helm of the case trying to look for this missing boy. He did a really good job too. And at first, he was an all right, but then he became a more important character as the show went on, and he got fleshed out a lot, and you learned more about him, and I thought it was really great. Like every character, you learn more about them as the show goes on. You don't just see like in some shows or movies for that matter, you see a character and they don't really progress it all throughout the show. They're just like you expect them to like continue to grow throughout the show or movie. And this show, like every character progresses. Even this one character who is kind of I'd say a jerk at first, and that would be the boyfriend of the one of the kids' older sister. That one of the three kids that is trying to look for their friend, older sister. Her boyfriend. It was kind of a jerk at first, but even he has some moments where he progresses as a character and becomes more likable in a way. Also, the older brother of the boy that goes missing, he's also trying to figure out what's going on. Because at first, he doesn't really believe that all this stuff is happening, because while all this is happening, there's this secret government thing going on where they're trying to do experiment. Okay, I have to spoil the show. I'm sorry. I made it this far. I mean, you gotta be confused if I don't. But who hasn't seen the show? I'm probably like the only one who hasn't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, just go watch it right now before I spoil it. So, the secret government is doing experiments on like people. Like they get people willingly to be experimented and try to get them to have their kids and make them brainwashed so that they become kind of clueless. And then they would test those kids on becoming like supernatural like beings to make them powerful. And this works on this one little girl, and her dad is like the main government guy working at that agency, and she escapes, and so they're all trying to find her and also cover up their tracks of what they've been doing. So that put in with, because she acts, when you learn later on that she accidentally released the creature that kidnapped Will, which is how he disappeared. And also the girl's friend, Barbara, she also gets kidnapped. But I mean, so you're trying to save these characters from the creature, and it's just really intriguing how the show builds upon itself. I mean, there's lots of layers with everything it does. And just the feel, like for example, the three kids, usually in like a lot of the time in like TV shows or movies, kid actors, they're usually like you can tell they're acting. You know that it's not like a real kid. They're just acting a part. But in this show, these three kids, they act like how real kids would. You don't feel like they're just actors reading a script. They have like emotion. They act like how real kids would. And I found that really interesting and actually kind of a relief because I wasn't knowing what the show was really about. I mean, I read the subtext, but I mean, it's pretty vague. So I was intrigued, and when I was watching it, I was really impressed. Now, I don't really think I have any flaws with this. I mean, it's perfect, in my opinion, this season alone. I'm really happy, I'm really excited to see what else they'll have in store, because I'm pretty sure this is going to get another season, just by how good it did and how it leaves off on the final episode, which, by the way, is my favorite episode of them all, because they were all building up, and all the episodes were great. You could still watch them on standalone. But that final episode just felt like a satisfying conclusion to what the entire season was building up to, plus what's more to come. I mean, there's so much that happens in it. I don't really want to spoil that much. I know I've spoiled some. But I think that you should check out this show. I think that you should check out the show on Netflix if you have a Netflix. And if you don't, then maybe they'll release it on DVD and you can grab a copy. I think it's really great to watch. And also, the show takes place in the 80s, which is a bonus because I love the 80s. That's one of my favorite decades. That's just me. So those are my thoughts on Stranger Things. I would give it a 10 out of 10. That's how good the show is. I really loved it. I was blown away by how good it was. There was nothing, there was no filler in it. It felt genuine. It felt interesting. It has a lot of stuff in it to keep you hooked. I mean, it's not just for a specific crowd. I mean, it's not just for grown-ups. It's not just for kids. It's not just for teens. It could be for everyone. Anyone could watch this show and be just as interested as another person. I mean, it's one of those great shows. And Netflix shows are doing really good recently. This might be one of my favorite Netflix shows, or one of my favorite shows I've seen. I need to see where else it'll go if it does get a second season. I think it is, because I heard that they might be. But I'm really excited to see the next season of Stranger Things. Have you guys seen Stranger Things? You thought about it? If you want to let me know in the comments below, that'd be great. And just on a side note, there's probably like a lot of movies that I've seen. I've seen about a little over 20 that I still haven't reviewed. So, and I plan on wanting to get all of them done by the end of the year because it's 2016. So I'll try to get as many reviews out as I can in this limited time span. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoy, and please check out Stranger Things. It's really good. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.